A very good morning, my dear students. I hope all of you people are enjoying the competitive sessions of the chapter sequences and series. Let me continue with the MCQ set of questions. Here you are having problem number 11, which states that find the number of numbers lying between 81 and 1792 which are divisible by 17. Now, which and all numbers are divisible by 17? You are supposed to check out between the numbers 81 and 1792. The first number come out is exactly equal to 85 because 17 5s are 85 you are having, isn't it? If you continue with this one, you will get the next term which is nothing but equal to 102. And if you continue this pattern, you will get the number which is very previous to this one and divisible by 17 is nothing but equal to 1785, that is 1785. Here your task is to find out what is the exact number of terms which are present between these two extremities. That is, here the first term is exactly equal to 85, isn't it? Since these numbers are divisible by 17, your task is to have the common difference is exactly equal to 17, and the last term, that is indicated as capital small l, is equal to 1785. Here your task is to find out n value is equal to how much. That means how many numbers are present in this particular AP or the sequence, which is consisting of the first term as 85 and the common difference as equal to 17. Now let us apply the formula for the last term, that is nothing but a plus n minus 1 into d. This one is the expression for last term of a particular AP. Now this implies we are having 1785 is equal to a value is equal to 85, isn't it? Plus we'll get n minus 1 into d value we have got as exactly equal to 17. Now if you subtract this 85 from this term, you will get 1700, that is equal to n minus 1 into 17, isn't it? Here you will get 17 ones are 1700s are, you are left with n minus 1 must be equal to 100, that implies n value is equal to 101. That implies there are exactly 101 terms are present between these two extremities in this particular AP. I hope all of you people understood the solution of this particular problem. Now let me move on to the next problem, that is problem number 12, which states that three numbers are in arithmetic progression such that their sum is equal to 24 and sum of their squares is equal to 200, such that your task is to find out the required numbers in that particular AP. Since they have given three numbers, isn't it? Let me take the AP. For the sake of simplicity, I am considering this pattern for the AP, that is a minus d, a plus d. Now what is the common difference between these two terms? That is equal to d. What is the common difference between these two terms? That is also equal to d, isn't it? Since the common difference between any pair of two numbers in this particular sequence is equal to the constant term, that is equal to small d, we will get this sequence as the required particular AP. I hope all of you people can understand why I have taken this one. For the sake of simplicity itself, let us take a minus d, a plus d, the three numbers. Then what they have given? They have given that summation of these three numbers is exactly equal to 24. That implies what? A plus d, this one, plus a minus d. Either you can interchange the roles of these two terms also, no issues at all. That is equal to 24. You will get d minus d will get cancelled. You are just left with 3a is equal to 24. That implies a value is equal to 8. This one is the first term of this particular AP. Here your task is to find out the value of d utilizing the other criteria. What they have given? They have given that sum of their squares is equal to 200. That implies what? A minus d whole square plus a square plus a plus d whole square is equal to 200 they have given, isn't it? Now try to expand these things. You get a square plus d square. Next one, minus 2ad plus a square plus d square plus 2ad is equal to 200. Isn't it? Now see here, 2ad minus 2ad will get cancelled. What you are left with? You are left with a square plus a square plus a square, that is equal to 3a square, plus d square plus d square, that is equal to 2d square, equal to 200. Now this implies substitute the value of a here in this expression. You are left with 8 square is equal to 64, isn't it? 64 into 3 you are supposed to find out. 3 4s are 12, 1, 3 6s are 18 plus 1, that is 19, isn't it? You will get 192 into plus 2d square. Now this one is equal to, entire thing is equal to 200. Now this implies 2d square is equal to 200 minus 192, that is equal to 8. Now this implies d square is equal to 8 by 2, that is equal to 4. Now this implies d is equal to plus or minus 2. Now here your task is to find out the required values of these three terms utilizing the value of the first term as equal to 8 and the common difference is equal to plus 2 in one case, and the first term as equal to 8 and common difference as equal to minus 2 in the second case. Now for a is equal to 8 and the common difference is equal to 2, what are the required numbers? That is 8 minus 2, that is 6. Next one, a, that is equal to 8 only. A plus 2, that is 8 plus 2, that is equal to 10, isn't it? Next one, for a is equal to plus 8 only, but b value is equal to minus 2, which we have got in this particular case, isn't it? This one is for the first case and this one is for the second case. Now try to find out. Here you will get 8 minus of minus 2, that is equal to 10. 8 as it is. Next one, 8 plus minus 2, that is 8 minus 2, that is equal to 6. In any case, we will get the required numbers in this particular AP such that these two conditions are verified as equal to 6, 8, 10 or 10, 8, 6. This one is nothing but ascending order AP and this one is nothing but descending order AP. You can, I hope all of you can understand the solution of this particular problem. Let me move on to the next problem, that is problem number 13, which states that the sum to p terms of an AP is q. That implies what? They have given that, or you can take let also, no issues at all. Given that sum up to p terms, that is indicated as SP, is equal to what they have given? They have given as equal to q, and sum up to q terms, that is indicated as SQ, is equal to p they have given, isn't it? Now apply the formula for the sum up to p terms of an AP. You get p by 2 into 2a plus p minus 1 into d, that is equal to q, you will get, isn't it? Now this implies SQ is equal to, or you can utilize the formula for SQ here. You will get q by 2 into 2a plus q minus 1 into d, that is equal to p here, you get, isn't it? Now try to simplify the terms over here, or you can simplify these terms over here. You will get, from this equation we can get 2 into AP. Here I am multiplying this term inside and cross multiplying this 2 with this q. I hope all of you are following the things over here. You will get p square minus p into d is equal to 2 into q. Similarly, from this equation we will get 2aq plus q square minus q into d is equal to 2 into p, isn't it? Now you can simplify these two equations. Here I will consider equation 1 minus equation 2, where I will call this equation as equation number 1 and this equation as equation number 2. Now equation number 1 minus 2 implies what? Now see here, we are having the term 2a, isn't it? This one minus this one, you get p minus q plus, here note that you are having the term d as the common term, isn't it? From these two terms I will write p square minus q square as equal to p minus q into p plus q. Because if you multiply these two things, you'll get p square minus q square. That is p square minus q square, isn't it? Next one, I have taken out d as the common term already, isn't it? Here, we are left with minus p into d, minus of minus, that will become plus, isn't it? Here, you are just left with q minus p. I hope all of you people can understand how I have got this term and all. Now, this one must be equal to, here you are left with, which one? 2q minus 2p. That is 2q minus 2p. I hope all of you people are following the things up to here. Now, this implies, here you can write 2a into p minus q plus, or I will take out the, or you can utilize here itself, d into p minus q into p plus q minus, I will take out minus 1 outside from these two terms. We are just left with p minus q, isn't it? That is equal to 2 into, here also I will take out minus 1 outside from these two terms. We are left with minus 2 into p minus q. I hope all of you people are following the things up to here. Now see here, we are having p minus q, p minus q, p minus q, p minus q. In this entire equation, you are having the term p minus q is common on both sides of this particular equation. You can strike out or cancel that term because we have assumed that here p is not equal to q. Utilizing that condition, we can say that if p is not equal to q, then p minus q is not equal to 0. Such that you can cancel the terms over on both sides of this particular equation. Just you are left with 2a plus d into, here you are just left with p plus q. After taking p minus q, p plus q term is remaining over here, isn't it? Minus 1. Because of the presence of this term we have taken outside, that is exactly equal to minus 2. Now divide this entire equation throughout by 2 itself. What you are just left with? 2a by 2, that is equal to a, plus I will get d by 2 into p plus q minus 1 is exactly equal to minus 1 you will get. Now multiply both sides of this particular equation by the term, which one? P plus q. If you do that, after taking the LCM and cross multiplying, you will get p plus q by 2 into 2a plus d into p plus q minus 1, isn't it? Which must be equal to, if you multiply this number by this quantity p plus q, what you are left with? The LHS part term will be equal to s of p plus q. Check out, after doing the step which I have stated over here, you will get as equal to minus of p plus q. Therefore, the summation up to p plus q terms of this particular AP is come out as exactly equal to minus p plus q after multiplying both sides of this particular equation throughout by p plus q. And take out the LCM, cross multiply, you will get the required result, which I have stated for that expression as equal to s of p plus q. You can check out whether I have said the correct thing or not. That is left to you people, or directly you can write the answer itself. I hope all of you people understood the lengthy solution of this particular problem also.